young woman named Sarah moved into a new apartment in a quiet neighborhood. The building was old but charming, and she loved the cozy feel of the space. It had large windows that let in plenty of natural light, and on the first night, she placed her favorite chair near one of them, looking out over the street. As the days went by, Sarah began to notice something unsettling. Every evening, when the light outside began to fade, she would see a figure standing in the window of the apartment across from hers. It wasn't anything she could quite make out, just a shadowy silhouette, but it was there, watching her. At first she tried to ignore it. It's probably just someone living there, she thought. But the longer it went on, the more unnerving it became. The figure never seemed to move. It just stood in the same place, staring into her apartment. One night, feeling brave, Sarah decided to investigate. She stood in front of her window and watched the figure. It was as if it was aware of her presence, its outline shifting ever so slightly, as if it was trying to get a better look at her. Sarah's heart raced. Suddenly, the lights in the neighboring apartment flickered and went out. Terrified, Sarah rushed over to her phone and called the building manager. He answered, sounding groggy. "There's no one living in that apartment anymore," he said. "It's been vacant for years." The silence in her apartment felt suffocating as Sarah slowly turned back toward the window. The figure was still there, except now it was closer, far too close. She backed away in horror, her phone slipping from her hand. As the figure's shadowy form began to move, the air around her grew cold. Her breath fogged in front of her face as she heard a whisper in the stillness, "I'm not watching you, I'm waiting for you." And then, as quickly as it had appeared, the figure vanished into the darkness.